There it goes. Hey everybody, this is Dave B69, and I am pleased to know that I didn't have to turn off that one thing in HDMI on the PS5. I thought I had to turn the one setting on and off every time I streamed. All you have to do is turn off the device link, and as soon as you turn off the device link, everything else works. You can stream, you can basically post your videos, you can watch YouTube and Netflix and all the other channels that you want, and you don't lose anything. So it was one of those key things I learned today. And it allows me to obviously do my streams. So very excited about that. But people are here to watch my PS5 thing. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here, because I'm on the edge. And let me show you what I'm on the edge about. My settings, I've always kept it this way, and it's like I mean, I've had previous years where I've had to knock it down to Pro, but this year, since I've been on the PS5 version especially, I've been able to just dominate, I feel like, but only on offense. Unfortunately, there was one year, I forget when it was and stuff, it was years ago, I think it was PS2 days, where it was like, there was different settings, it was like, you could have different levels of difficulty based on offense and defense. I wish that was the case, because then I would change it. I feel like I'm an all-pro defense, but my offense should be more on the all Madden kind of thing. So, but I think they're going to be doing some patching and some adjusting from some of the things I was reading. So hopefully some of that stuff will be done. I'm trying not to play too many games, so my record isn't like too incredible. So it's like I'm just doing pretty much a game a day or so. But we'll see how that works. But I'm just really just trying to catch up to the regular season for the most part. But next up is the Steelers, who've already lost here. Let's see, TJ Watt. Want us to neutralize TJ Watt. Why not? .400 yards with no turnovers. That's a daunting task. And let's play ball. And you can see Pittsburgh is at 85 overall. I'm only an 82 overall. This should be an interesting game. Let's play.
Today.
Ooh, it's raining too.
From Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. It's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Please tell me somebody noticed those puddles. They were awesome.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And they'll be led out by their quarterback in his 5th season now, the former #2 overall pick, Carson Wentz.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. The numbers for Sanders last week, 20 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown.
How about the first month of the season for him? He leads the league in rushing, so you know his confidence is at an all-time high, which means his offensive line loves it too. They'll get more opportunities to run block for him.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
And an Eagle first down.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And maybe shades in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Aaron Donald's the name most people think about at the defensive tackle position, but an all-pro last year alongside him, Cameron Hayward, an absolute nightmare to try and block. And he gets into the backfield on that play and finishes it off with a loss.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So here are the Steelers backed up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by a man back from an elbow injury that sidelined him for the majority of 2019. At 38 years of age, it's Ben Roethlisberger.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. He'll throw from the gun. And his throw here's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st.
And there's a catch by Juju Smith-Schuster, and he's hoping there's plenty more of that coming. 2019, not the year he expected. Lost his quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, early, dealt with a knee injury and missed 4 games, and his stats really fell. Just 552 yards through the air. But in 2018, what a big year he had then with Big Ben. 1,426 yards. He's hoping that the return of form of Roethlisberger leads to the return of form of himself. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That's Derek Barnett coming in and making the play.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set a tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now right away, he'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
They'll run, and Sanders And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Catch made by Fulgham. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Complete to Travis Fulgham.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. This running game is so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Cameron Hayward able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Sack there by Cameron Hayward, and All-Pro in the 2019 season. He's been consistently good throughout his career. 29 sacks in his last 3 seasons.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Jalen Reagor was the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And here it's just a simple question of whether or not the ball broke the plane. Well, I said it's simple. It's not really that simple. This could be really complicated.
We would love for it to be simple, to know that it did actually cross the plane of the goal line. But as you described, it is a difficult call. All it takes is a portion of the ball crossing that line. Now the officials have to determine if that happened.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to...
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Carson Wentz. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. That one caught by the rookie Chase Claypool. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A check on the numbers last week for Connor. 16 carries, 70 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receiver, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it.
And the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. They'll try and run for it with counter. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, they get downfield and create extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That's taken on the 25. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. A good carry and a first down by James Conner, and this Pittsburgh team is really hoping he's back in form because last year the entire Pittsburgh offense suffered without Ben Roethlisberger, quarterback. James Conner only 715 combined yards, but in 2018, he was a Pro Bowl running back. Combined yardage that year, 1,470. They're hoping for 2018 James Conner in 2020.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting at 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Roethlisberger here finding Johnson. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. A good pick up there, 20 yards.
Good catch by Deontay Johnson, and he really helped fill a void during his rookie season when he had 59 catches that led the team, and he was 1st among all rookie receivers last season as well. Not bad for the 10th wide receiver selected in the 2019 draft. Really good play. Expects to continue to get better in this Pittsburgh offense. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Roethlisberger will hand to Conner. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches it.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run. A 1st down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
A big hitter to start the drive. Has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
The Eagles on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Wentz now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
And really an excellent run, sidestepping tacklers on his way to a pickup of 8. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
What were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
Don't do us like that.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
Just too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. He'll get that one complete to Connor. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Roethlisberger. Short little throw to Ebron. And again the footwork. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Good catch there by Eric Ebron, and the Steelers are hoping that they see the 2018 version of this young man. 66 catch, 750 yards, and 13 touchdowns. And that was good enough for 2nd in the league with the Indianapolis Colts. The Steelers like to throw to the tight end. They hope Ebron is the guy.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Roethlisberger with a pass complete to Claypool. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
I know from talking with scouts, one of the biggest question marks people had about Chase Claypool coming out, what they call his long speed. Just how fast was he in the 40-yard dash? He showed that he's plenty fast enough, coupled with a 6'4" body.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Rodney McLeod. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead.
Eagles 7.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting in a field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Wentz going to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
On 1st down, Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half.
1st down, Eagles.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Wentz to throw again. And he finds the tight end, Rodgers. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half.
At the Steelers' 25-yard line.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And it's the visiting side who had the lead in that one. Alex Smith with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Derrick Henry, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
To kick off for Philadelphia.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. He'll get this to Connor underneath. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
And there's James Conner showing his versatility with a nice reception and first down pickup out of the backfield. 3 years into his pro career, though, he hasn't played a full season, so they want to see durability increase for him. But during his Pro Bowl year in 2018, that's when he showed everything. 55 catches that year, only 34 in 2019. They're hoping those numbers continue to climb for James Conner.
Roethlisberger throwing complete to McDonald. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. Now here's a throw that's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Ben leaves to Connor on the draw. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll run for it with Connor. And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. There wasn't even thought of a short field goal. There was no hesitation. They were going for it.
I think he was thinking ahead a couple plays ago, that if he got in this situation, they were definitely going for it. And you're right, it was a confident.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Vance McDonald, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are going to take the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Take over 1st and 10. at their own 8.
Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. He'll throw from the gun. Ebron with it over the middle. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And we do talk a lot about how the tight end position has changed in the NFL. Here's a great example. It used to be that they were linemen who occasionally caught passes. Now they're wide receivers who occasionally block people. And right here, this isn't tight end speed. It's definitely wide receiver speed.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Ben going to give this one to Conner. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh 1st. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run on first down. Sanders, 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 36, Wentz. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now Sanders. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Play action. Now Wentz. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, it's Wentz. Hard throw, incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front. It got his man complete. And he'll get it out
to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. If there were any concerns about the elbow for Big Ben, I think the evidence there shows us that he's just fine.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
Yeah, the next-gen stats showing that at an even 57 yards through the air. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And hitting Juju on the slant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first down.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Wentz now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Wentz. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz, catch made by Fulgham. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Cameron Hayward in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on for the 5th time here today. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 13.
He'll drop to throw. Completion here to Claypool.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
The carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Looking sideline, incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. His throw incomplete. James Conner, the running back, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
3rd down and 10.
Ben to throw again. He'll get that one complete to Conner. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
First down.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Back near the goal line. Here's Wentz. Flush to his right. And some room to roam now. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
On first down, it's Sanders. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The big man, Tyson Alualu, there to make the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll move the chains.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. On play action, Wentz. This ball complete to Rager. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now second and 13.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to feud.
Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
From the 6.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Carson Wentz in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play. Now their 4-game winning streak in great danger. On first and 10, here's Wentz. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Now a play fake. Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 34, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
He's a little play with me, baby.
Let's go, Steelers! Let's go, Pittsburgh!
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On the counter, it's Connor. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Brandon Graham, great pursuit there, getting the tackle for loss.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last two plays, both losses. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They run the counter. It's Connor, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yikes, terrible kick headed straight for the sideline.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10. At their own 20.
And out now come the Eagles. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if finally we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. Wentz now on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Rookie Jalen Reagor, the intended target that time. And now it's second down. Now Wentz again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. On play action, it's Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Steven Nelson, and that will write a finish to this ball game. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Steelers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.